vale más un buen amor que 1000 costales de oro. Vale más un buen amor, por eso eres mi tesoro. Valgo mucho junto a ti y soy muy feliz contigo. Vales mucho para mí, con el corazón te digo. Olvidemos el pasado y lo que diga la gente. La verdad es que te amo y me amas para siempre. Olvidemos el pasado y vivamos el presente. Lo que importa es que me amas y te amo para siempre.
This letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night.
He was very nearby this, and he was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
Oh, but few of sort and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Claudio.
Much deserved on his part and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing so in the figure of a lamb and the face of a lion.
He hath an uncle here in Spain, will be very much glad of it.
I've already delivered him the letters, and there appears to be much joy in him.
Did he break out into tears?
In great measure.
Is Senor Montanto returned from the wars, or no?
I know none of name, lady. There appears to be none in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Senor Benedict.
Oh, he's returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Spain and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my tia's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Senor Benedict too much, but he'll be meet with you, I doubt it not.
He's done good service, lady, in these wars.
You had musty victual, and he hath helped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach. He is no less than a stuffed man, but for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, ma'am, mistake my niece. There's a kind of merry war betwixt Senor Benedict and her. They never meet, but there's a skirmish of wits between them.
Alas, she gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So that, if he have wits enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse, for it is all the wealth he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Isn't it possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith but as the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I see, lady, this gentleman's not in your books.
No, and you were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squire now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
Oh, he's in the right company of the roast Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught in the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God, help the noble Claudio.
You will never run mad, niece?
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro has approached.
Oh, good Senora Leonata. Are you come to meet your trouble?
Never came any trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides and happiness takes his leave.
Ah, you embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her father hath many times told me so.
Truly. The lady mothers herself. Be happy, lady, for you're like an honorable mother.
My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food defeated as Senor Benedict? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat, but is certain. I am loved of all ladies, only you excepted. And I could find it in my heart that I not had a hard heart, for truly I love none.
Oh, a dear happiness to women. They else would have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I would rather hear my dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God, keep that ladyship still in your mind so some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratch face.
Scratching could not make it worse than for such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue and so good a continuer. But in God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is some of all, Leonata. Senor Claudio. Oh, Senor Benedict. My dear friend Leonata had invited you all. I tell her we should stay here at least a month.
Ay, Dios mío!
But she heartily prays that some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear she is no hypocrite, but prays from her heart.
If you swear, my lord, you will not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I am not of many words, but I thank you.
Please, at your grace, lead on.
We will go together.
Oh, Benedict, didst thou note the daughter of Leonata?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me as an honest gentleman for my simple true judgment, or would you have me speak after my custom as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee speak in sober judgment.
Only this commendation I could afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. But her being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yeah, and a case to put it into, but speak you this with a sad brow, or do you play the flouting jack to tell us that Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall it take a man to go into the song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked on.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with the fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the 1st of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband. Have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary. If Hero would be my wife.
Is't come to this? But not the world will have one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion. Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go, if faith. Thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into the yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro's returned to seek you.
What had held thee here that you followed not to Leonatus?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
Hear this. Count Claudio. I can be as secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark this, on my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Mark how short his answer is. That is your grace's part. With Hero, Leonata's daughter.
If this be so, so be it uttered.
Like the old tale, my lord. It is not so. To us not so. But God forbid it should be so.
If my passion change not shortly, God forbid it should be otherwise.
Oh, amen, for if you love her, the lady's very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thoughts.
And in faith, my lord, I speak mine.
And By my two faiths and troths, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she's worthy, I know.
That I neither fear how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in a despite of beauty.
And can never maintain his port but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I would give her most humble thanks. But that I will have a reed sheet winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me, 'cause I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. And I will do myself the right to trust none. For the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee, ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove that ever I lose more blood with love than ever again I get drinking. Pick mine eyes out with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me on the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument. In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedict bear it, pluck off the bull's horns, set them in my forehead. Let me be vilely bold, in bold letters as they write, here's good horse to hire. Let them signify under my sign, here, you may see Benedict, the married man.
If this should ever happen, thou shalt be horn mad.
Nay, if Cupid have not spent all his quiver in Spain, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I will look for an earthquake too then.
Well, you will temporize with the hours. In the meantime, Senor Benedict, prepare me to Leonatus, commend me to her, and tell her I will not fail her at supper, for she had made indeed great preparation.
I've almost enough of me for such an massage, and so I commit you.
To the tuition of God and from my house, if I had it.
The 31st of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards are but slightly basted on neither. Nay, flock your old ends any further. Examine your conscience, and so I leave you.
My lord, your highness, now may do me good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and thou shalt see how apt it is to learn. Any hard lesson may do thee good.
Hath Leonata any son, my lord?
No child but Hero. She's its only heir. Oh, dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this inward action, I looked on her with a soldier's eye that liked, but had a tougher task at hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and those war thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms thronging soft, delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
Thou would be like a lover presently, and tie the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love Hero, cherish it, and I'll break with her and with her mother, and thou shalt have her. I know we shall have revelling tonight, and I'll assume that part in some disguise, and tell fair Hero, I am Claudio, and in her bosom I'll clasp my heart, and take her here in prisoner with a strong encounter of my amorous tale. And then after, I'll break with her mother, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
Now, sister, where's my cousin, your son? Hath he provided this music?
He is very busy about it. But, sister, I can tell you strange news that ye yet dreamt not of. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in a thick, pleated alley in mine orchard, were thus much overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to discover it this night in a dance. And, if he found a accordance, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break you of it.
hath the fellow any wit who told you this?
Oh, a good, sharp fellow. I will send for him and question him yourself.
No, we will hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter withal, that she may be the better prepared for an answer. If peradventure this be true, go you and tell her of it. Cousins, you know what you have to do. Go you with me, and I will use your skill.
What the good year, my lord! Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore, the sadness is without limit.
You should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder, thou being as thou sayest thou art, born under Saturn, goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jest. Eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's leisure. Sleep when I am drowsy, and tend on no man's business. Laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you should not make the full show of this. You may do it without controlment. You have a blade stood out against your brother, and had taken you newly into his grace, where it's impossible you should take true root by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is needful that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I had rather be a canker in the hedge than a rose in his grace, and it better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from any. In this, though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, it must not be denied that I am but a plain-dealing villain. I am trusted with the muzzle and enfranchised with the clog. Therefore, I have decreed not to sing in my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. In the meantime, let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
You make no use of your discontent.
I make all use for it, for I use it only. Who comes here? What news, Baraccio?
I came yonder from a great supper. The prince, your brother, is royally entertained by Leonato, and I can give you intelligence on an intended marriage.
Oh, will this serve as a model to build mischief on? What is he for a fool to betroth himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Oh, the most exquisite Claudio.
Even he.
A proper squire. And who? Which way looks he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
How come you with this?
Being entertained for a perfumer, as I was smoking in a musty room, here comes me, the prince, and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped me around an heiress, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero. And having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Oh, come, let us thither. This shall prove food to my displeasure. That young startup has all the glory of my overthrow. If I can cross him in any way, I bless myself in every way. You are both sure and will assist me?
To the death, my lord.
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Not Count John here at supper?
I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He's of a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedict. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, ever more tattling.
Then half Signor Benedict's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedict's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, Thea, and money enough in his purse? Such a man would win any woman in the world if he could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so sure of thy tongue.
In faith, she is too cursed.
Too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way, for it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
And so, by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he send me no husband, for the which blessing, I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with the beard on his face.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel, make him my waiting gentlewoman? He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man, and he that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him.
Well, niece, I trust you will be ruled by your father?
Yes, Faith, it is my cousin's duty to make courtesy and say mother, as it please you. Yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another courtesy and say mother, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you someday fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered by a piece of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, Thea, I'll none.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer.
The revelers are entering. Make good room.
Lady, would you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly and say nothing. I am yours for the walk, and especially when I walk away.
With me in your company.
I may say so when I please.
When please you to say so.
When I like your favor, for God defend the lute should be like the case.
My vice is Philman's roof, and within the house is Jove.
Why then, your visor should be thatched.
Speak low, speak low.
I wish you were like me.
So would not I for your own sake, for I have many ill qualities.
Which is one?
I say my prayers aloud.
I would love you the better. The hairs may cry, amen.
Amen.
Then God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done. Answer, clerk.
No more words.
Ah, I know you well enough. You are Senora Antonia.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
To tell you true, I counterfeit her.
You can never do her so ill well, unless you were the very woman.
At a word, I am not.
Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to, Mum, graces will appear, and there's an end. Will you not tell me who told you so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of the 100 merry tales. Well, this was Senor Benedict that said so.
What's he?
I am sure you know him well enough.
Oh, not I, believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you, what is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. People pleases men and angers them. Then they laugh at him and beat him. Ugh, I am sure he's in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I will tell him what you said.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure, not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy, and then is a whole partridge wing saved, for the fool will not eat supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
My brother is amorous, not hero, and hath withdrawn her mother to break with her about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
And thus is Claudio. I know him from his bearings.
Are you not Senor Benedict?
You know me well. I am he.
Senor, you are very near my brother and his love. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you dissuade him from her. She is no equal of his birth. You may do the parts of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection.
I heard he too. He swore he would marry her tonight.
Come, let us to the banquet.
Thus, I answer in the name of Benedict, but hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so, the prince woos for himself. Friendship is certain in all other things, safe in the office and affairs of love. Therefore, all hearts in love should use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent, for beauty is a witch, against whose faith charms melteth into blood. This is an accent of hourly proof, which I mistrusted not. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio!
Yeah?
Come,
The
will you go
same.
with me?
Whither?
To the next willow about your business, County. What fashion will you wear the garland of? About your neck like an usher's chain, or underneath your arm like lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I pray you leave me.
Why is that spoken like an honest drover? So they sell bullocks, but did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you strike like the blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and so you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I will leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep in the sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince is full. It may be that I go into that name because I am married. But am I so apt to do myself wrong? I am not so reputed. It is the base, the bitter disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person and so gives me out. I'll be revenged as I may.
Why, how now, senor? Where's the count? Have you seen him?
Troth, my lord, I played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here, as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, I think I told him true, that your grace had gotten the goodwill of this young lady. I offered him my company to Willow to fashion up a garland as being forsaken, or to bind him up a rod as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it his companion, and he steals it.
Huh. Will thou make transgression? The transgression's in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss. The rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland, he might have worn himself. But the rod, he might have bestowed onto you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing, and then restore them to the owner.
If the singing answer you're saying, by my faith you say honestly.
Oh, the señorita Beatrice had a quarrel with you. She said the gentleman that danced with her said she's much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak, but with the one green leaf on it would have answered her. My very visor began to assume life and scold with her. She told me, not thinking that I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw, huddling jest upon jest, with such impossible conveyance upon me, that I stood like a man with the whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there'd be no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him. Before he transgressed, she would have made Hercules have turned spit, too. Yeah, and cleft his club to make the fire, too. Come, talk not of her. You shall find her, the infernal Ate in good apparel. I would to God some scholar would conjure her, for certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in sanctuary, and people sin upon purpose, so they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet, horror, and perturbation follows her.
Huh. Oh, look, here she comes.
Would your grace command me any service to the world's end? Rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy, you have no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
Oh, this is a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady's tongue.
Oh, come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Senor Benedict.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for a single one. Marry, once before he won it of me, with false dice. Therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You have put him down, lady. You have put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I should prove the mother of fools. I brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
Why, how now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
Oh, now then sick?
Neither, my lord.
The Count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil, Count. Civil as an orange with something of that jealous complexion.
I think you're blazing to be true. I'll be sworn. If this be so, his conceit is false. Count, I have wooed in thy name, and fair heroes won, and I broken with her mother, and her goodwill obtained. Name the day of marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and all grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count! 'Tis your cue.
Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give myself away to you, and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin! Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let him not speak neither.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord, I thank it. Poor fool that keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good lord for alliance. Cousins, God give you joy.
Will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry you mercy, Thea, by your grace's pardon.
What a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad, but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then. For I've heard my daughter say she hath dreamt of unhappiness and awaked herself with laughing.
Oh, she cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
No, by no means. She mocks all her wooers out of suit.
She were an excellent wife for Benedict.
Oh, Lord. My lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
Count Claudio! What means you go to church?
Oh, tomorrow, my lord. Time moves on crutches till love has all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence just a 7 night, and a time too brief too to have all things answer my mind.
Oh, come. You shake the head at so long a breathing. But I beseech you, Claudio, the time shall not go dully by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring El Señor Benedict y la Señorita Beatriz into a mountain of affection, the one with the other. Oh, I would fain have it a match, but I doubt not but to fashion it. If you three would but minister some assistance, as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you too, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
Oh, and Benedict is not the unhopefulest husband that I know. Therefore can I praise him. He's of a noble strain, of approved valor, oh, and confirm honesty. I will teach you how to humor your cousin, so that she shall follow with Benedict. Yeah, and I, with your 2 helps, would so practice with Benedict, and in despite of his quick wit and his queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. Oh, if we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer, for his glory shall be ours, for we are the only loved gods. Go on with me, and I'll tell you my drift.
It is so. The Count Claudio shall marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yes, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be menacable to me. I am sick and displeasure to him, and whatsoever comes athwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me briefly how.
I think I told your lordship a year since how much I'm in favor of Lady Margaret.
I remember.
I can, at any unseasonable instant of the night, appoint her to look out her lady's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimations do you mightily hold up to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
What proof shall I make of that?
Proof enough to misuse the prince, vex Claudio, undo Hero, and kill Leonata. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I will endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meat tower to draw Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that hero loves me. Attend a kind of zeal both on the prince and Claudio, as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and his friend's reputation, who is thus like to be cozened with the semblance of a maid, that you have discovered thus. They will scarcely believe this without trial. Offer them instances which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at the chamber window, whom we call Margaret, hero, and Margaret to me, Claudio. Bring them to see this before the wedding day. For in the meantime, I'll for sure fashion the matter that hero shall be absent, and there, in such seeming truth of hero's disloyalty, that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparations overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can. I will put it in practice. Be cunning in this work, and thy fee is 1,000 euros.
And you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not shame me.
I will go presently learn of their day of marriage.
Niño!
Senor!
In my chamber window lies a book. Bring it hither to me in the orchard.
I am already here, sir.
I know that. I would have thee hence and here again.
God, I should have worked for Claudio.
I do much wonder how one man, seeing how much another man is full when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, will he then become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love? And such man is Claudio. I have known when there were no music in him but the drum and the fife. And now he rather listened to the tabor and the pipe. I have known when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor. And now he'll lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. Who's wont to speak plain and to the purpose, like an honest man, a soldier. And now he has turned orthography to so many strange dishes. Will I be so converted? And see with these eyes, I know not. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me into an oyster. And by my oath, until he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. But until all graces be in one woman shall never come in my grace. Rich he shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or look not on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it please God. Here comes the prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide myself in the arbor.
Come, shall we hear this music?
Oh, very well, my lord. How still the evening sits, as hushed on purpose to grace harmony.
Oh, see you where Benedict had hid himself.
Very well, my lord. The music ended will fit this kid fox with a penny's worth.
Come, about to start. We'll hear this song again.
Oh, good. My lord taxed not so bad a voice to slander music any more than once.
It is witness still of excellency to put a strange face on his own perfection. I pray thee, sing, and let me woo no more.
Well, because you talk of wooing, I will sing! Soy una Hombre mi honrado, que me gusta lo mejor. Las mujeres no me faltan ni el dinero ni el amor. Me gusta tocar guitarra, me gusta tocar el son. Mariachi me acompaña cuando canto mi canción. Ay, 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 mi amor. Ay, mi morena de mi corazón. Gracias, gracias. No, gracias.
Oh, by my troth, a good song.
And an ill singer, my lord.
No, in faith. Thou singest well enough to have a shift. I pray thee, get us some excellent music for tomorrow night, and we would have it at the Señorita Hero's chamber window.
The best I can, my lord.
Do so. Farewell. Leonato, what was it that you told me of today? That your nieta Beatrice was in love with Senor Benedict?
Hey, stalk on. The fowl sits. I did never think this woman would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should dote on Senor Benedict, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
It's possible. Sits the wind in that corner.
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it, but that she loves him with an enraged affection, it is past the infinite of thought.
Maybe she thought by counterfeit.
Faith, like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit? There was never counterfeit if passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Huh. Why, what effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
You heard my daughter tell you how.
Oh, she very did indeed.
I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedict.
He hath taken the infection. Hold it up.
Has she made her affection known to Benedict?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
'Tis very true, so she says. Shall I, says she, that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?
This says she now when she is beginning to write to him, for she'll be up 20 times a night, and there will she sit till she hath writ a sheet of paper.
You speak of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
No, when she writ it and was reading it over, she found Benedict and Beatrice between the sheets.
That!
Oh, she tore the letter into 1,000 pieces, railed at herself that she should be so immodest as to write to one that she knew would flout her.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, cries, sobs, beats her heart, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedict, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. My daughter says so. It is very true.
Oh, it were good that Benedict knew of it by some other. If she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torture the poor lady worse.
Oh, she were an excellent sweet lady, and at all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And exceeding wise.
Oh, and everything but loving Benedict. Oh, but had she bestowed this dotage on me, I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray thee, tell Benedict of it, and hear what he will say.
Word good, think you?
He is a very proper man.
Ooh, he had indeed showed a good outward happiness.
And before God and in my mind, very wise.
Ooh, he doth indeed show some spark that are like wits.
And I take him to be valiant.
Oh, well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him about her love?
Never tell her, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that's impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
Well, we will hear further about your daughter. In the meantime, let it cool a while. I love Benedict well, and could wish that he would but modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner's ready.
If you do not dote upon her on this, I shall never trust my expectation.
Ooh, let there be the same net spread for her, and that must your daughter and her gentlewoman carry. Oh, the sport will be when they hold an opinion of another's dotage. Let us send her to call him to dinner.
This can be no trick. The conference was sadly born. They have the truth of this from Hero. They seem to pity the lady. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me. Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censored. They say I will bear myself proudly if I perceive the love come from her. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis truth. I can bear them witness, and virtuous. 'Tis so, I cannot reprove it, and wise. But for loving me, by my troth, this is no great addition to her wit, no great argument on her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may by chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me because I have railed against marriage for so long. But doth not the appetite alter? Shall quips and words and paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? When I said I would die a bachelor, I did never think to live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. By this day, she's a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love on her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner.
Sweet Beatrice, I thank thee for thy pains.
I took no more pain for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure then in the message?
Yeah, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a jaw withal. You have no stomach, senor? Fare you well.
Huh? Against my will, I am sent to bid you come to dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains to give you thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as easy to say that any pains I take for you is as easy as thanks. I am a villain if I do not love her.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There shalt thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing to the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her I and Ursula walk in the orchard, and our whole discourse is all of her. Say that thou overheard us, and bid her steal into the bleached bower. There shall we hide her to listen our purpose. This is thy office. Bear thee well in it, and leave us alone.
I'll make her come. I warrant you presently.
Now, Ursula, when Beatrice doth come, as we do trace this alley up and down, our talk must only be of Benedick. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. My talk to thee must be how Benedick is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made that only wounds by hearsay. Now begin, for look where Beatrice like a lapwing runs close to the ground to hear our conference.
But are you sure that Benedick loves Beatrice so entirely?
So says the prince and my new trothed lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They didn't treat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedick, to wish him wrestle with affection and to never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Does not a gentleman deserve as full as fortune at bed as ever? Beatrice shall couch upon.
Oh, God of love, I know he doth deserve as much as may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman's heart of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Disdain and scorn right... Disdain and scorn right sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on. And her wit values itself so highly that to her all matters else seems weak. She cannot love, nor take no shape nor project of affection. Oh, she's so self-endeared.
Sure, I think so. And therefore, certainly, it were not good she knew of his love, lest she'll make a sports at it.
Why, you speak truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, how noble, young, how rarely featured. But she would spell him backward. Therefore let Benedick like covered fire consume away in sighs, waste inwardly. It were a better death to die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Sure, I think so. Do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Senor Benedict.
He hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, every day. Tomorrow. Come, go in. I'll show thee some attires and have thy counsel which is the best to furnish me tomorrow.
She slimed, I warrant you, we have caught her, madam.
If it proves so, loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such, and Benedict, love on! I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it. Better than reportingly.
I will stay till your marriage be consummate, then I go toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, thou be as great a soul in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a kid his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I'll only be bold with Benedict for his company. As from the crown of his head to the sole of his feet, he is all mirth. He had twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring. Oh, and the little hangman dare not shoot him. I swear, he had a heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue is the clapper for whatever his heart thinks. Oh, his tongue speaks.
Gallants! I am not as I have been.
And so say I, methinks you're a satyr.
I hope he be in love.
Oh, hang him, truant. There's no true drop of blood in him. To be truly in love, if he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it!
You must hang it first, then draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Where's but a humor or a worm?
Well, everyone can master grief, but he that has it,
Yet say I, he is in love.
There's no appearance of fancy in him, unless he had a fancy for strange disguises. That's to be a Dutchman today, a Frenchman tomorrow, or in the shape of two countries at once. Oh, that's to be a German from the waist downwards. Oh, Slavs! Ugh. And a Spaniard from the hip upwards. No doublets. Unless he had a fancy for this foolery, as it appears he hath. Oh, he is no fool for fancy, as you would appear he is.
Nay, but he rubs himself with civet. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much to say, the sweet youth's in love.
Oh, the greatest note of it is his melancholy.
Nay, but his gesturing spirit is though crept into a lute string and governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells every tale for him. Conclude. He is in love.
And I know who loves him.
That I would know too, but I warrant one that knows him not.
And he's an ambition. And in spite of this, she dies for him.
Yet this is no charm for the toothache. Old Senora, walk alongside me. I've studied 8 or 9 wise words which I must speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life, to break with him about Beatrice.
Yet say I, Hero and Margaret have by this time played their part with Beatrice, so the two bears will not bite each other when they meet.
My lord and brother! God save you!
Good evening, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you, yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I would speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Needs your lordship to be married tomorrow.
You know he does.
I know not that, once he knows what I know.
If there be any impediments, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me. By that I now will manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of hearts hath helped to infect your ensuing marriage. Surely suit ill spent, and labor ill bestowed.
Why, what's the matter?
I came hither to tell you, the lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you a worse title, and I would fit it to her. Wonder not till further warrant. Go but with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her. But it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess that you don't know. If you come with me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly. I will disparage her name no further till you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly till midnight and let the issue show itself.
Are you good men and true?
Yeah, or else with her pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that would be a punishment too good for them if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most disartless man to be constable?
Oat cake, sir, or Seacole, for they can write and read.
Ah, come hither, neighbor Seacole. God hath blessed you with a good name. To be a well-favored man is a gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have! I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, sir, why give God thanks, and make no boast of it. And as for your writing and reading, let that come when there is no need for such vanity. You are thought to be the most senseless and fit man for the constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You are to comprehend all vagabond men and bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why then, take no note of him, but let him go and presently call the rest of the watch together and thank God that you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, he is none of the prince's subjects.
True, and they are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. For the watch to babble and talk is most tolerable and shall not be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk. We know what belongs to a watch.
Why? You speak like a most quiet and ancient watchman, for I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call at all the alehouses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How if they will not?
Why then, let them alone until they are sober. If they make you not the better answer, you may say they're not to the men you took them for.
Well, sir.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man, and for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know them to be a thief, shall we not lay hands on them?
Truly, by your office you may, but I believe those that touch pitch will be defiled. And the most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is and steal out of your company.
You've always been called a merciful man, partner.
Truly, and I would not hang a dog by my will, much more a man who hath any honesty in him. This is the end of the charge. Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call upon me. Keep your fellows' counsels and your own, and good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, masters, we hear our charge. Let us sit here upon the church bench till 2, then on to bed.
One more word, honest neighbors. I pray you watch about Senora Leonato's door. For the wedding being there tomorrow, there's a great coil tonight. Adios! Be vigilant, I beseech you.
What, Conrad?
Peace! Stir not!
I say!
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
Master, my elbow itched. I thought there would a scab follow.
Oh, the answer for that. And now, forward with thy tail.
Stand thee close, and I will, like a true drunkard, utter all to thee.
Some treason, masters, yes, stand close.
Therefore, know, I have earned of Don John 1,000 euros.
Is it possible that any village should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
Thou shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the fashion of a doublet or a hat or a cloak is nothing to a man.
Yes, it is apparel.
I mean the fashion.
Yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Tush! I may as well say the fool is the fool, but seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
He's been a vile thief this 7 year. He goes up and down like a gentleman does. I remember his name.
Does thou not hear somebody?
No. 'Twas the vent on the house.
Seest thou not, I say, what a deformed thief this fashion is?
All this I see, and I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou hast shifted out of thy tale to telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither, but know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the lady he was gentlewoman by the name of Hero. She leads me out her mistress' chamber and bids me 1,000 times good night. Mwah, 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 mwah. I tell thee this vilely. I should first tell thee how the prince, Claudio, and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master Don John, saw afar off in the orchard this amiable encounter.
I thought they Margaret was Hero?
Two of them did.
What?
The prince and Claudio. But the devil my master knew she was Margaret, partially by his oath, which first possessed them, partially by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander that Don John had made. Away when Claudio, enraged,
Clink! His name. Stand.
Call up the right master constable. We have recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery that was ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him.
Master!
You'll be made bring deformed forth, I warned you.
Masters! Never speak. We charge you in the prince's name. Let us obey you, go with us.
We would like to prove goodly commodity being taken up of these men's bills.
A commodity in question, aren't you? Come, we'll obey you.
Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Truth, I think your other rabato are better.
No, pretty good, Meg, I'll wear this.
No, by my troth, not so good, and I warrant your cousin would say so.
My cousin's a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this. God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceeding heavy.
Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Thee art not ashamed.
Ashamed of what, lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. Bad thinking. Do not rush true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Ask my lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, cuz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now do you speak in a sick tune?
I am out of all other tune, methinks.
Clasp into rata de dos patas. That goes without a tune. Do you sing it and I'll dance it?
It's almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hey ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all, H.
Won't you be not turned Turk? There's no more sailing by the stars.
What means the fool trow?
Nothing, but God sends everyone their heart's desire.
These gloves the Count sent me, they're an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? That's goodly catching of cold.
God help me, God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Ever since you left it, does not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough you should wear in your cap. By my troth, I am sick.
Get you some of this distilled Cardis Benedictus and lay it on your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
Dare thou prickest her with that
Benedictus? Why, Benedict? Is he some more than this Benedict?
Moral? No, but by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I think you are in love. Nay, by our lady, I'm not such a fool to think what I list, nor I list not to think what I can, nor indeed I cannot think. If I could think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love, yet Benedict was such another, and now he has become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not. But methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What cases is it thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop. Oh, you
madam! Withdraw! The prince, the count, Senor Benedict, and all the gallants of town have come to fetch you to church.
Go, go.
What would you with me, honest neighbors?
Marry, sir. We would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth is it, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Burgess, sir, speaks little of the matter. His wits are not so blunt as God's hope I wish they were, but in faith as honest as the skin between his brows.
Thank God I'm as honest as any man, living that as an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous. Palabras, neighbor Burgess.
Neighbors, you are tedious. I would fain know what you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have taken a couple of errant knaves as any in Spain.
Well said of faith, neighbor Burgess. By my troth he is as ever broke bread, but God is to be worshipped. Not all men are alike, alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
One more word, ma'am. Our watch, ma'am, have indeed comprehended two suspicious persons. We'd have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself and bring it me. I am now in a great bit of haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord! They stay for you to bring your daughter to her husband.
I'll wait upon them. I'm ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Francis Seacole. Bid him bring his tenant Incorn to the jail. We are not to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive some of them to a non-com. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the jail.
Come you to marry this lady?
No.
To be married to her, friar, you come to marry her.
Come you to be married to this count?
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment why you should not be conjoined, I charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any, hero?
None, my lord.
Know you any, count?
I dare make his answer none.
What men may do, what men dare do, what men do daily, not knowing what they do.
How now, interjections? Why then, some beers of laughing is...
Stand thee by, friar. Mother, by your leave, will you give me with free and unconstrated soul this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give back to you whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato, take her back again. Give not this rotten orange to your friend. She is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold how like a maid she blushes here. What authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? Come not this blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear? Oh, that you see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows. But she is none. She knows the heat of luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord,
I know what you would say. If I have known her, you would say she did embrace me as a husband. No, Leonata, I never tempted her with words too large, but as a brother to a sister, give her bashful sincerity and comely love.
And ever I seemed otherwise to you?
Out on thee seeming!
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you?
Oh, what should I speak? That I stand dishonored to have gone about to link my dear friend with a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Ma'am, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
Oh, God!
Leonata, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face heroes? Are your eyes your own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that motherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me how I'm beset. What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Is it not Hero that can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that can, Hero. Hero itself can blot a hero's virtue. What man was you talk with yesternight out on your window between 12 and 1? Now, if you are a maid, answer this.
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Oh, why then are you no maiden? Leonato, I am sorry you must hear, but on my honor, myself, my brother, and this grave count, oh, did I see her, hear her, at the hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window. Oh, and like a most liberal villain, he had confessed the vile encounter that he had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie! These things are not to be named, my lord, not to be spoken of. There is not chastity enough in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
Oh, hero, what a hero thou hast been. If half the outward graces have been placed upon thy thoughts, good counsel of thy heart, but fare thee well. Most foul, most fair, farewell. Thou impious purity, impish purity, for thee I will look up all thy gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang to turn beauty in thoughts of harm, and never shall it be more gracious.
I know, cousin. Wherefore sit you down?
Come, let us go.
Hold up the lady.
Dead, I think. Hero! Why hero?
Oh, fate, take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
How now, cousin Hero?
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero, do not ope thine eyes. For did I think thou wouldst not quickly die? Thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would on the rearward of reproaches strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? Why had I not with a charitable hand took up a beggar's issue at my gates, who smirched thus and marred with infamy? I might have said no part of it is mine. This shame derives itself from unknown loins. But mine, and mine I loved, and mine I praised, and mine that I was proud on, and mine so much that I myself was to myself not mine. Valuing of her. Why she? Oh, she has fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath dropped too few to wash her clean again.
On my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I have this 12-month been her bedfellow.
Confirmed. Would the two princes lie? And Claudio lie? Who loved her so that speaking of her foulness washed it with tears. Hence from her let her die!
Me, a little. For I have only silent been so long, and Given way into this course of fortune by noting of the lady, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face. 1,000 innocent shames in angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eyes there hath appeared a fire to burn the errors that these princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool. Trust not my reading, nor my observations, with which experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that all the grace that she hath left is that she will not add to her damnation a sin of perjury.
Lady,
she not denies it.
What man is he you are accused of?
They know that do accuse me. I know none. If I know more of any man alive than which that maiden modesty doth warrant, let all my sins lack mercy. Oh, my mother, prove to you that any man converse with me at hours unmet, or I, yesternight, maintain the change of words with any creature, refuse me, hate me, torture me to death.
There is some strange misprision in the princes.
The two of them have the very bent of an honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, then the root of it lies in John el Bastardo, whose spirits toil in frames of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands shall tear her. If they wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while, and let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the prince has left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed.
What will become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this, well carried, shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. But not for that dream I on this strange course, but on this travail look for greater birth. She, dying as it must be so maintained, shall upon the instant that she was accused be pitied, lamented, and excused of every hearer. For so it falls out that what we have we prize not to the worth whiles we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost. Why then we rack the value and find the virtue that possession would not show us whiles it was ours. So will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into a study of imagination, and every organ of her life shall come more well apparelled into the eye and prospect of his soul than when she lived indeed. Then he shall mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver, and wish he had not so accused her. No, though we thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not that success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood.
Leonato, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness in love is very much into the Prince and Claudio, I will deal with you in this as secretly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away, for to strange sores strangely they strain the cure. Come, lady. Die to live. This wedding day is perhaps but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Sweet Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I will not desire that.
You have no reason. I do it freely.
Truly, I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to sow such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it.
It is a man's office, but not yours.
There is nothing in the world I love as well as you. Is that not strange?
As strange as a thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say, I love nothing so well as you. But believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By my honor, Beatrice, thou lovest me?
Do not swear and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest. I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You have stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Fare you well.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. There is no love in you, nay, I pray you let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemies?
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height of villain? That has slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman. Oh, that I were a man. What? Bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor? Oh, God, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with the man out of the window. A proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone. Princes and counties, surely a princely testimony, a goodly count, Count Confect, a sweet, gallant surely. Oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into curtsies, valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongues, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing. Therefore, I will die a woman with grieving.
By this hand, I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged hero?
Yea, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand. And so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account as you hear of me, and so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say that she is dead, and so farewell.
Is that where whole assembly appeared?
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Mary, that's my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have the exhibition to examine.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Let them come before Master Constable.
Yay, Mary, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borraccio.
Pray, write some Borraccio. Yours, sirrah?
I am a gentleman, sir. My name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentleman Conrad. Masters, it is proved already that you are a little better than false knaves, and it would go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
A marvelous witty fellow, I assure you, but I will go about with him. Come you hither, sirrah, a word in your ear. Sir, I say to you, it is thought that you are false knaves.
Sir, we say to you we are none.
Well, stand aside. For God, they are both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that is the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Masters, we charge you in the prince's name. Accuse these men.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Why, this is flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Master Constable.
Pray thee, fellow peace, I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he received 1,000 euros of Don John for accusing the lady hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed. Oh, villain! Thou wilt be condemned to everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
And this is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John was this morning secretly stolen away. Hero was in this manner accused, in this very manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these men be bound and brought to Leonato's. I will go before and show her their examination.
Come! Let them be opinioned.
Let them be in the hands.
Of coxcomb.
God's my life! Where is the sexton? Let him to write down the prince's officer, coxcomb. Come, bind them now, naughty varlet.
Away! You are an ass! You are a ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass. But masters, remember that I am an ass. Though it not be written down yet, forget not that I am an ass. No, thou villain, thou art full of piety. I shall be proved upon by good witness. Bring him away.
If you go on thus, you will kill yourself, and 'tis no wisdom thus to second grieve against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into mine ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ear, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a mother that so loved her child, and whose joy of hers overwhelmed like mine, and bid her speak of patience. Measure her woe the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain for strain, and thus for thus, and such a grief for such, in every lineament, branch, shape, and form. Bring her yet to me, and I of her will gather patience. But there is no such woman. For, sister, women can counsel and speak comfort to that grief which they themselves not feel, but tasting it, their counsel turns to passion, which before would give perceptual medicine to rage, fetter strong madness in a silken thread, charm ache with air and agony with words. No, no. 'Tis all woman's office to speak comfort to those that wring under the load of sorrow, but no woman's moral nor sufficiency to be so moral when she shall endure the like herself. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Yet ban not all their harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest treason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that shall Claudio know, and the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here come the prince and Claudio hastily.
Oh, good evening. Good evening.
Good day to you both.
Hear you, my lords.
We have some haste, Leonata.
Some haste, my lord. Are you so hasty now?
Nay, do not quarrel with us.
If she could right herself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs her?
Mary, thou dost wrong me, thou dissembler thou. No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast so wronged mine innocent child. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried with her ancestors. Oh, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers, framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio, thine, I say.
Away!
Thou hast killed my child!
God knows I loved my niece, and she is dead, slandered to death by villains that dares well answer a man indeed, as I dare take a serpent by the tongue, boys. Apes, jacks, braggarts, milksops.
Sister.
Oh, we will not wait your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but on my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord, my lord.
I will not hear it.
No? Come, sister, away, I will be heard.
And shall, or some of us will smart for it.
Oh, see, here comes the man we went to seek.
How now, senor? What news?
Oh, as I'm an honest man. He looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
Shall I speak a word in your ear? You are a villain! I jest not! I will make it good how you dare, with what you dare, or when you dare. But do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Come, let me hear from you!
Well, then I will meet you. And so may I have good cheer.
Oh, what a feast! Oh, a feast!
In faith, I thank him, for he hath bidden me a calf's head and a capon, for which, if I do not carve most curiously, say my knife's not, shall I not find a woodcock too?
Sir, your wit ambles well. It goes easily. Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. You break your jests as braggarts do the blades, which God be thanked hurts not. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you, but I must discontinue your company. Your brother, the bastard, has fled. Among you have killed a sweet lady. For my lord Lackbeard here, he and I shall meet. But till then, peace be with him.
he is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I warned you for the love of Beatrice.
And had challenged thee?
Most sincerely.
Oh, but soft you, let me be. Pluck up my heart and let me sad. Did he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, sir. If justice cannot tame you, she shall never weigh more reasons in her balance. Nay, and you be a cursing hypocrite once, you shall be looked to.
Oh, now, two of my brother's men bound. Borachio one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruths. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
Firstly, I ask thee what they have done. Thirdly, I ask thee what's their offense. Sixthly, and last, what they have committed. And to conclude, what you lay to their charge.
Rightly reasoned and in his own division, but by my troth there's one meaning well suited.
What have you offended, masters? That you are thus bound to your answer. This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What's your offense?
Sweet prince, let me go no further to mine answer. Do you hear me? Let the court cure me. I have deceived even your very eyes. What your wisdom cannot discover, these shallow fools brought to light, who in the night overheard me confessing to this man, hell. Your brother incensed me to slander the Lady Hero. How you were brought to the orchard and saw me court Margaret in Lady Hero's garments. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusations.
But then my brother set thee onto this.
Yes, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
Oh, he has framed and composed the treachery, and he was fled upon this villainy.
O hero, now thy image doth appear in rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath informed Signora Leonato of the matter.
Here comes Master Signora Leonata, and the sexton too.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes. Which of these is he?
If you would know you're wrong, look on me.
Art thou thee that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yes, even I alone?
No, not so, villain, thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Record it with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to wait your patience, yet I must speak. Choose you revenge yourself and lay upon me what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
Oh, and by my soul nor I, and yet to satisfy this good old woman, I would bend under any heavy weights that she'll enjoy me too.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang her an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow morning come you to my house, and since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My sister hath a daughter almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin, and so dies my revenge.
Your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I embrace your offer, and dispose henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow then I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe was packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No! By my soul, she was not, nor not knew what she did when she spoke to me, but always has been just and virtuous in anything that I know by her.
Moreover, madam, which is indeed not under black and white, the plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in his punishment. I pray you, examine him upon that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains. There's for thy pains. Go, I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I beseech your worship to correct for the example of others. God, keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God, restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart. And if a merry matter may be wished, God prohibit it. Come, neighbor.
Until tomorrow morning, lords, farewell.
Tonight, I will mourn with Hero.
sweet Mistress Margaret, deserve a well at my hand by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall ever come over it. For truly, thou deserve it.
To have no man come over me? Why must I always keep below stairs?
Si pudiera pararte una estrella de cielo, lo haría sin pensarlo dos veces, porque te quiero. Cuando me enamoro, cuando menos me lo espero, me enamoro. Se detienen a tiempo. Sonrío cuando me enamoro. Beatrice! Wouldst thou come when I called for thee?
Yea, senor, and depart when you bid me.
But stay till then.
Then is spoken, fare you well now. And yet, ere I go, let me go with that I came, which is knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frightened the sense out of his right mind. So forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge, and either I shall hear from shortly, or I subscribe him a coward. Now tell me, for which of my many bad parts dost thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they would not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love? A good appetite, for indeed I do suffer love, for I love thee against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart, if you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably. Tell me, how's up your cousin?
Very ill.
And you?
Very ill too.
Serve God, love me and mend. There I will leave you, for here comes one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle. Yonder's old coil at home. It is proved my lady hero has been falsely accused. The prince and the count mightily abused, and Don John, the author full of this, who is fled and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, senor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. And moreover, I will go to thee, thy Theas.
Is this the monument of Leonato?
It is, my lord.
Muerto por lenguas, fue hero que aquí hace muerte en aras de sus errores. En la fama que nunca muere. Entonces le vive con vergüenza. Vive en la muerte con gloriosa fama. Now, music, sound. Sing your solemn hymn.
Tú eres la tristeza de mis ojos, que lloran en silencio por tu amor. Me miro en el espejo y veo en mi rostro el tiempo que has sufrido por tu adiós. Obligo a que te olvide el pensamiento, pues siempre estoy pensando en el ayer. Prefiero estar dormida que despierta, de tanto que me duele que no estés.
Como quisiera, ay, que tú vivieras, ojitos jamás se hubieran cerrado nunca y están mirándolos. Amor eterno e inolvidable, tarde o temprano estaré contigo para seguir amándonos.
And to thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Good morrow, masters. Put your torches out. And look, the gentle day. But before the wheels of Phoebus round about, dapples the drowsy east with spots of gray. Thanks to you all, and leave us. Fare you well. Come, let us hence put on other weeds, and then to Leonato we will go.
And Hymen now with luckier issues will speed than whom we have rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error that you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I am glad all things sort so well.
And so am I, being Elsinfore's young Claudio to come to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter and you gentlewomen all, withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. You know your office, sister. You must be mother to your sister's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, senor?
To bind me or undo me, one of them. Good senora. Truth it is, senora. Your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That eye my daughter lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do with an eye of love requite her.
The sight whereof I think you had from me, from Claudio and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, ma'am, is enigmatical for my will. My will is your good will, this day to be conjoined in a state of honorable marriage. Which, friar, I must desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here come the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet determined today to marry with my sister's daughter?
I will hold my mind.
Call her forth, sister. Here's the friar ready.
Good morrow, Senor Benedict. Why, what's the matter? That you have such a February face, so full of frost and storm and cloudiness.
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man, for we'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa will rejoice at thee, as Europa did at once lusty Jove when he played the part of the noble beast in love.
Bull Jove, sir, had the same amiable low. In some such strange bull, leapt your father's cow and got a calf in that same noble feat. Much to you, for you have just his bleat.
For this I will owe thee. Here come other reckonings. Now, which lady shall I seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Well, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that you shall not till you take her hand before this friar and swear to marry her.
Then, before this holy friar, take my hand. I will be your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. And when you loved, you were my other husband.
Another hero!
Nothing certainter. One hero died defiled, but I do live.
The former hero, the hero that is dead?
She died, my lord, but whilst her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify, and after that the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely of fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and presently to us the chapel.
Soft and fair. Friar, which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do you not love me?
No. No more than reason.
Why then? Your Thea, the Count, and Claudio have been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
Why then? My cousin, Margaret, and Ursula are much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
Enough! Then you do not love me.
No! But in friendly recompense?
Come, cousin, I'm sure you love the gentleman.
I'll swoon thee that he loves her, for here is a piece of paper written in his own hand, a halting sonnet fashioned to Beatrice.
And here is another, written in my cousin's hand, stolen from her pocket, containing her affection onto Benedict.
A miracle! Here's our hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. By this light, I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day, I yield upon great persuasion and partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace, I will stop your mouth.
Ooh. Oh, well, how does that, Benedict, the married man?
I'll tell thee what, Prince. A college of wickrockers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost not think I care for a satire or epigram? No. If a man should be beaten with brains, he shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will have nothing that the world could say against it, and therefore, never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing. In conclusion, for thy part, Claudio, I did think to have beaten thee, but in that thou to be my kinsman, live unbruised, and love my cousin.
Well, I would have hoped Beatrice would have denied thee, so I would have cudgeled thee after thy single life to make thee a double dealer, which out of the question thou wilt be if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrow at thee.
Come, come, we are friends! Let us dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterward.
But first, my word. Therefore, play music!
Tengo una muñeca.
Give me a second. Your brother, Don John, has taken in flight and brought with armed men back to Spain.
Take not on him till tomorrow. I shall devise a brave punishment for him. But till then, strike up!
Te amo.
Mi padre pelea, mi abuela lo ve. ¿Quién ha visto un niño de rosado? Y yo me río porque me parece una burrada. Y yo no entiendo por qué.
Si pudiera bajarte una estrella del cielo, lo haría sin pensarlo dos veces, porque te quiero ahí y hasta un lucero.
Y si tuviera el naufragio de un sentimiento, sería un velero en la isla de tus deseos, de tus deseos.
Pero por dentro entiende que no puedo y a veces me pierdo.